What is up, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome back to the Sydney Roosters Diehards. It is Haynesy here, and we are here for your team list predicted video for round one as the Roosters head over to New Zealand to take on the New Zealand Warriors in Auckland at Go Media Stadium this Friday night, kicking off at 8 p.m. local time, 6 p.m. in Sydney, and 5 o'clock in Brisbane. If you guys aren't aware of how we do these team list prediction videos, we'll be going through what I believe is going to be most likely our predicted lineup for what Robbo is going to name on Tuesday at 4 p.m. for the team list when they get announced. And obviously, immediately following that, we'll be on here on the Diehards for a live stream reaction to the team list and go through our thoughts and see how we went with our predictions and that. So I'm really looking forward to it. So I hope you guys enjoy. If you're new here, make sure you hit that thumbs up button, subscribe to the Sydney Roosters Diehards, and give us a follow on the Instagram for your latest Roosters news, updates, and opinions. And just a reminder, folks, we'll be live on my personal channel, Haynesy_YT, on Friday afternoon. I'd say around about half an hour before kickoff for a live stream watch along. I won't be at the game this weekend, so we'll be at home doing the live stream watch along for you guys on my personal channel, Haynesy_YT. Link is in the description down below to go check out my channel. Subscribe if you want to. But yeah, that's where you're gonna find my live stream watch alongs when I'm not at the game. And when I'm at the game, you'll see exclusive game day vlogs and that throughout the season. And obviously, we'll be following up from that straight back on here on the Diehards. Immediately following the game for our live stream match reaction. And if we're at the game this year, I'll be doing a little bit of a match recap from the ground, and they'll be up the next day. And obviously, we'll be doing play rating videos as well the day after for you guys. So a lot of game day content coming your way on the Sydney Roosters Diehards. My personal channel, Haynesy_YT. If you'd like to subscribe, link is in the description down below. Really appreciate it. And just as a little bit of housekeeping, guys, I have no insight on what the team list is going to look like. I have no knowledge or anything like that. This is just going off my own apparel here, just going off my own predictions and seeing what most likely Robbo is going to name for these lineup come Tuesday, 4 p.m. So this is just, like I said, this is a prediction video. I have no insight, no knowledge of what the team's going to look like. This is just going off my gut feeling of what the team is going to look like. Let me know in the comments down below if you agree or disagree, and find out Tuesday, 4 o'clock, when the team list gets named. And then about an hour or so later, we'll be on here doing our reaction, and you can see how well I went. Hopefully we do as close as we can get, because I don't think I'm going to get 24 out of 24, because there's always a curveball in there anyway. But that's for tomorrow to figure out. Right, let's get straight into it, starting with our fullback and our captain, James Tedesco. He'll be lining up in the fullback position. Pretty straightforward there. On the wingers, I think we're getting the rough idea. Daniel Tupou, set to make his first appearance for the Roosters this year. Obviously, didn't feature in the trial games. Was put on ice, rested for the trial games, and ready to go for his first game of the season in round one. And following up with his other winger, Mark Nwanganitawase in jersey number 5. The left centre position is going to be Billy Smith, obviously. Our right centre now, there's a little bit of a injury cloud around Rob Toya. Hearing reports last week that he was had some hamstring tightness, and that he spoke when he told me at the trial game against Parramatta, and it was still every chance to play, but he was on the sort of precaution side of not playing that trial game. Heard another report around his ankle being still not 100% right after that injury, loose Frank injury, I think he had in that Pacific Championship game against Samoa at Suncorp last year. So, but look, there hasn't been any official word from the Roosters. No, NRL physio hasn't said anything. Code Sport, no one's really reported anything about Rob Toya. So I'm going to expect that he is fit, firing, and I am going to be naming him at right centre. But if he isn't going to be playing, if there is some sort of announcement between now when the video drops until team list Tuesday at 4 o'clock, I'd most likely say either Junior Ponga or Tommy Talau will be naming it right centre if Rob Toya is unavailable. But I'm still backing Rob Toya to be there for Friday night. The halves, well, the most anticipated halves combination this year is obviously going to be at the Roosters, and that is going to be our halves combination for the first time, making his official Roosters debut in jersey number 6. Daly Cherry Evans will be named in jersey number 6, alongside his halfback. In jersey number 7 is going to be, of course, Sam Walker. As we go into the engine room for the Roosters, our jersey number 8 is obviously going to be Nafahu White in jersey number 8, and Lindsay Collins in jersey number 10 in the front, starting in the front row. The hooker position now, obviously, as we mentioned a few weeks ago, that Reece Robson is out for the next 6 to 8 weeks. I think now it'll be around the next 4 to 6 weeks with a broken thumb injury. So he's ruled out for the next couple of weeks or so, which obviously we saw, either Connor Watson or Benaya played a bit of hooker in the trial game against Parramatta. I do believe that Benaya is going to get the nod. He's going to be starting hooker Benaya Leu in jersey number 9. The back row as well, obviously the straightforward answer on the left side is going to be Angus Crichton. On the right side, there's a few options. Nat Butcher was named as captain in our first trial game against the West Tigers, played 40 minutes. He was named to be playing in the trial game against Parramatta, was ruled out late. Haven't heard any information about that whatsoever. I just think, he still needs a little bit of match fitness under his belt to be returning straight after coming back from an injury last year. Still probably needs some time to get under his belt there. So I am going to be naming Siwa Wong in the jersey 12 position. He played most of the year on the right edge last year, and I think he will retain that spot for the time being until Victor Radley returns. And the lock position, now another thing that we can toss and turn over. Obviously, we've seen, Siwa Wong, Blake Steep play lock throughout the trial games. We saw Connor Watson play lock off the bench. It's a very, very tough decision to make, but I think the best way to fit everyone into this team, I feel like the best way for it to work, I think Connor Watson, a ball playing lock, would be perfect for me. I am going to be naming Connor Watson in jersey number 13, but I wouldn't be surprised if Robbo goes with a Blake Steep or Connor Watson, or Blake Steep or Siwa Wong, but I do think he will go with Connor Watson. In terms of the interchange bench, well, obviously I've been really, really high on this for pretty much the entire preseason, off-season. And obviously read into the 2 Vegas games, we've seen how important a utility on the bench is going to work. Obviously, you look no further in the a game for the Newcastle Knights yesterday against the Cowboys with Sharp taken off after the 25th minute mark. They had Sandon Smith there, who's a 14, plays 9, plays 5'8", played 5'8" the rest of the game. And you could say that they weren't really impacted as much as, people making out to be, even considering the fact that Sharp was on a tear in those first 25 minutes of that game for the Knights there in Vegas yesterday. And obviously the same thing for the Bulldogs. They had a 14, a Kurt Mann could cover multiple positions, lock, 9, maybe the halves if needed. So that's why I am going to be sticking solid, and Hugo Savala is going to be my 14 and hopefully Robbo's 14 come round 1 when that gets named tomorrow. I just think that, he needs to be in that side. He can cover multiple positions, and I feel that triangle combination of Benaya, Watto, and Hugo Savala can be really, really helpful and handy in this game as well. As we turn into the, obviously continuing on with our bench, in jersey number 15, I am going to be naming Blake Steep in jersey number 15. CP, he's not going to be not named. CP's a crucial role this side. I think as well, having Blake Steep play lock as well throughout this game, comes on, play big minutes at lock, can relieve Watto after 20, 25 minutes at lock, and then we can see that rotation of Watto and Benaya in the 9 jumper. I think that can work with Blake Steep plug in the middle there in jersey number 15 at lock. And jersey number 16 is going to be Nat Butcher. I think, this is the experience of Nat Butcher. Can play middle, can play on the edge. Really, really great cover off the bench. And, Nat Butcher, coming into a senior leader of this side, he's too good not to have. Obviously, coming back from an injury, he's still going to get some match fitness under his belt. So I do think he will be. That's why I haven't started him. But Nat Butcher will definitely be in this side somewhere. And I think that's why he'll be named in jersey number 16. And in jersey number 17, I've got Spencer Leniu. Obviously, Spencer off the bench, the impact that he brings, it's a no-brainer having Spencer in the lineup. Spencer, jersey number 17. The 2 final interchange spots. Now, just trying to get a little bit of a read of what the 4 Vegas teams done so far. They've had a middle and they've had a sort of outside back to cover. So in jersey number 18, I know it's going to be an unpopular opinion, but I can just see Robbo doing this. Egan Butcher is going to be at jersey number 18. Obviously, everyone's going to be screaming out for Celeste Fiketti. I think Egan covers more positions, in my opinion. I think Egan can cover, so can Celeste, but I think the experience of Egan Butcher, can cover, the back row, the middle, and lock. I think that's having a forwards utility like that is very, very handy, especially if we have an injury to, to a front rower / or a back rower. It can be very, very handy having Egan Butcher there to cover that role. And in jersey number 19, I am going to be naming Junior Ponga. I think it's just there to cover the outside backs. I think the game plan that I can see Robbo having, if we have Tedesco go down, Marky Mark will go to fullback, Junior Ponga to the wing. If it's an outside center, Ponga center, wing. I think that's covers itself. But I think that's Junior Ponga can cover those positions there, and have a little bit of a reshuffle if Tedesco is the one who goes down. And rounding out the bench, the interchange positions, obviously, these guys will be named from jersey 20 to 24, and they'll be named, remain in the squad till about 24 hours before kickoff, until the squad gets shrinking to about maybe 20 or 21. I think that's how it works now with the 19 six-man bench. But my other reserves, I've got in jersey 20, Celeste Fichetti, 21, Taylor Lazalu, 22, Toby Rodwell, 23, Tommy Talau, and jersey 24, De La Salva'a. Obviously, having Taylor and De La Salva'a, two forwards, to cover that role in case of an injury throughout the week. Tommy Talau, the outside back replacement of any of those players injured during the week. Celeste Fichetti, back row or lock position, and of course, Toby Rodwell, half replacement in case there's an injury this week. So that is the 24-man squad that I've named for the Roosters this weekend to take on the New Zealand Warriors in New Zealand. Like I said, kicking off at 8 p.m. local time, 6 p.m. here in Sydney, 5 o'clock in Brisbane. So the final lineup looks like this. James Tedesco, fullback, Daniel Tupou and Martin Awangani-Tawase on the wing. The centers are Billy Smith and Rob Toya. The halves are Daly Cherry Evans and Sam Walker. The front rowers of Nafahu White and Lindsay Collins. Hooker, Benai Ilelu. The back rowers of Angus Crichton and Siwa Wong, with Connor Watson rounding out the starting side at lock position in jersey 13. And then obviously the bench of Hugo Savala, Blake Steep, Nat Butcher, Spencer Linu, Egan Butcher, Junior Ponga. And the reserves of Celeste Fichetti, Taylor Lasalu, Toby Rodwell, Tommy Talau, and De La Salva'a. Right, ladies and gentlemen, that is our predicted lineup. Tune in tomorrow afternoon when the team list gets named. We'll go through our deep dive and reaction to the squad, see how well we did. Let me know in the comments if you agree or disagree with the lineup. And I look forward to seeing you guys tomorrow for our reaction. Thanks for watching, guys. Hit that like button, subscribe. Give us a follow on the Instagram for your latest Roosters update, news, and opinions. Thanks for watching. We'll see you guys tomorrow.